Today I'm going to continue a small discussion I've been having with Political Jessica. We've been having this under one of her movies. Don't get me wrong, discussion isn't the same as I'm telling her why she's wrong and therefore she has to listen. This is a back and forth thing. Unfortunately, it does kind of seem a little bit that I say A, she says B, we don't agree, and therefore that's it. Why am I then still going to make this small movie? And again, this is mostly directed at Jessica. Well, for one, because maybe verbally I can make my point better than when I do it just in type. I mean, I don't know, but I think so. Number two is I can put visual aids in this movie. So, no, this isn't really a response to Jessica per se, but it is to continue the discussion with Jessica, if at all possible. Now, I'm not 100% convinced that Jessica isn't just trolling, but the points I am going to make are points made to counter what some people within the social justice structures and within the feminist structures keep spouting as being the truth. So I hope I can explain the position well, and I do hope that she is not a troll. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I don't know. And I do hope that if anyone can find any flaws in what I'm saying, then they will give me a good reason why they think so. And a good reason is not because I disagree, or because the patriarchy, or because intersectionality, or any buzzword. A reason is fact-based. Anyway, let's see where we get with this one. And we're going to start with the gender pay gap. I know, it's been debunked very many times, so it should be easy for me to find a few of those debunk situations, right? Here goes.
White House spokesman Jay Carney tied himself in knots this week trying to explain this inconvenient fact.
The median salaries in the White House, women make 88% of what men make.
And I'll tell you what he said coming up. This week we heard over and over again from the White House, from members of Congress, from journalists, that women earn 23 cents less than men for doing the same work.
On average, a woman still earns just 77 cents for every dollar a man does.
And today Congress argued over a bill called the Paycheck Fairness Act. And that bill is premised on this 23-cent wage gap injustice. Well, let's do a little reality check. First of all, no competent labor economist takes the 23-cent wage gap injustice claim seriously. There was an analysis of more than 50 peer-reviewed papers commissioned by the Department of Labor. What they found is that the so-called wage gap is mostly, perhaps entirely, an artifact of the different choices men and women make, different fields of study, different professions, different balances between home and work. Now, wage gap activists will argue that even when you control for relevant variables, women still earn less. Well, it always turns out they omit one or two crucial variables. So why play this game? Now, a colleague of mine, the economist Mark Perry, has been blogging for several months about the gender pay gap at the White House. It turns out that the median pay for female staffers is 88% of that of male staffers. Now, White House spokesman Jay Carney created a firestorm of protest among reporters because he was tap dancing around this embarrassing fact.
Well, I would say a couple of things about this. We know that closing the gender wage gap is a key part of our economic agenda, women's agenda, and here at the White House, equal pay legislation deems that there should be equal pay for equal work, and that's what we have.
He insisted on the one hand, oh no, women earn equal pay for equal work in the Obama administration. And he sort of dismissed the 88-cent figure as being, well, just an aggregate of everyone on the staff from junior to senior levels. Well, what he essentially was saying is that the 88-cent gap is no proof of White House discrimination, since it leaves out so many variables. Well, fine, that's right. But why then does the president use the 77-cent figure, which is misleading in exactly the same way? Now, reporters also pressed Betsy Stevenson, who's a member of the White House Council of Economic Advisors. They pressed her about the bogus factoid. To her credit, she quickly acknowledged that there were a lot of things that go into the 70-cent figure, and many things contribute to it, and that no one was saying, she said, that it was about discrimination. Well, yes, they are. And activists, politicians, they have been saying it for years. Now, it is not my claim that women no longer face discrimination in the United States. There is no evidence that I can see, or most responsible economists can see, of systemic wage discrimination against women. But of course, there's still workplaces where women are being shortchanged. But here's the bottom line. Women who are struggling economically or coping with gender bias, they're going to be best served by truth, careful research, not hype, spin, factoids, advocacy data. Will all be better served by truth. So the White House, members of Congress, journalists, and everyone else should stop using the specious wage gap statistic. Just let it go. I'm Christina Hoff Sommers. Thank you for joining me. Now leave your questions in the comment section below this video, and we'll try to address them in a future episode. And if you hear a statistic on women that's strange credulity, post it in the comment sections so my team and I can check the facts. And also subscribe so you can get an alert about our next video. Thank you.
As you may have noticed, I did not change a single thing about the talk that Christina Hoff Sommers just gave us. And I'll try to link it so that when you click on the video, you will actually go to the channel where I got it from. And I will also have a link down below. Why didn't I change anything? Because I want you to be absolutely 100% sure that it's not me manipulating the truth or manipulating facts. This is someone who identifies herself as a feminist, who is telling you, yeah, no. Gender pay gap? So maybe this will make you think, because apparently I couldn't make you think. And that's a shame, really. Well, I'll put a few links down below to a few sites which explain the gender pay gap a little more. Jessica, I really hope you will take the time to watch this and read the things I send you. Is there a zero gender pay gap? No, there isn't. There is, depending on which study you read, between 8 to 4% pay gap. But these are averages. And that's the thing, though. If you take the average of all men and the average of all women, there is a small difference. But the thing is, individually, there are women who earn more than men, even on the same job, because the men prefer to work less, when on average it's women that work less. But because the average of women working less is the average, therefore women, on average, earn less. Anyway, I hope this will clear it up a little bit. If not, I will look forward to your questions. And if you want, I can also make more informational videos on, for example, whether women indeed, pregnant women are more likely to die from their spouse than from anything else, or women are indeed the majority victim in domestic violence, if they are indeed attacked once every 9 seconds, and if there is indeed a 1 in 5 rape number on campus. These are all very specific lies that feminism keeps spouting. And Jessica, I believe that you're for equality of people. I really do. So why do you keep falling for this lie? Because really, I'm not hate speaking here. It really is a lie. And you're perpetuating a lie. And that lie is, well, hate speech. So it's not people hate speaking towards you because you perpetuate this. It's you basically hate speaking towards others because you blame people for something that's not even true. You're not even blaming them for something they didn't do. You blame them for something that doesn't exist. And well, that's not nice, Jessica. So, just giving it back to you. Oh, and if you hear a wailing baby in the background from time to time, that's my son. He doesn't agree with me, it seems.